a baby.
ShinRobjira.
Today we're going to be talking about the Bandai limited movie monster series Godzilla store exclusive Hedora landing period all fours version. Or as I like to call it,
The baby.
right off the bat and right out the box, all fours Hedora will be crawling at a size of a little over 3 inches tall. As to be expected for something called all fours version. It do be quite long though, so at least it makes up for it in that. Taking a look at the tag, we can see BABEH Hedora just crawling around and experiencing life for the first time, probably suffocating everything in a 4-mile radius of it. But yeah, we've got Hedora, Godzilla 2023, probably landing period all fours version down here. Back of the tag is going to feature what it normally features, as will the inside of the tag. And since the baby is a Godzilla store exclusive, I've been saying that quite a lot this week. I think that might be the most I've said it consistently, ever. We are going to have to double sleeve the baby so it rests safely within its crib. If I had to sum this figure up in a very short sentence, it would be bipedal walking on all fours. And for the most part, that's basically what it is. There's only going to be a few changes between the two figures. Obviously, they're completely different molds, but however Bandai makes their figures these days, be it renders or scans or whatever have you, it's clear that both of these were made at the exact same time. But anyway, figure. Enough of my face. It's just so baby! We're going to have some deep shiny reds for the eyes with black and golds for the rest of the eyes, looking really, really nice. I think I missed this with the bipedal walking version, but it's cool to see that there are actually eyelids present on this mold, which means one-eyed variants of the flying and final forms of Hedora can totally be possible. Right, Bandai? Amongst other things. We're gonna get the same splooches of gold metallic paint on the side of Hedora's face, the exact same that the bipedal walking version has, and we're going to get a very light spray of what feels like clear metallic paint. Obviously, it's supposed to be silver, and for the most part, it does look silver. We'll get a little bit more of that on top of Hedora's head over here, which will feature some nice, very minimal detailing on it. Nice, nice, nice. And the same thing can essentially be said for the other side of the head, moving into Hedora's little suck hole over here. We will get a bit of sprayed fall off of that very clear metallic silver going on over here, and I quite like that. And a little bit of the detail that we see on the underside of this figure is just a bit of the same. I am glad that we see more of these loose, drippy tendrils on the side of the figure's body, as that is something that I just really liked with the bipedal walking version. We'll still see that zipper-looking detail over here, and for the most part, the detail on the underside of the figure is going to be rather minimal. There is still going to be things there, obviously. And as you can see, it's a little bit more flattened out as compared to other parts of the figure, and that's not a problem at all, really. I mean, what else are you supposed to do for the underside of a figure that is crawling? Underside of the tail will have some nice detail, including the copyright, Toho Company Limited, Bandai China, numbers. Minimal detail, yes. Now we can flip the baby over, and now we're going to take a look at its back with its upside down set of looking lungs. No, that is not an observation by me, a future Rob. Please put that comment up on the screen over here. Forgot your name, fam. I'm sorry. But after reading that comment, yeah, it's just unseeable at this point. Hedora has a pair of upside down lungs on its back, not testicles, although it still kind of does look like that. And as you can see, a lot of the same detail going on here, just with different spurts of paint around it. The sacks will more so be outlined with a metallic gold paint, and it's got a mixture of silver in there too. I feel that's a bit more obvious on the opposite side, and while minimal, I kind of like how this turned out. It looks pretty cool. And again, the details are going to be mostly the same back here. We've got the sacks, we've got the two little tube-ish looking things on the back. It's all fairly rather morphologically accurate. We will get some streaks of gold on Hedora's legs though, which the bipedal walking version didn't have. Did it? No, it did not. So it is confirmed that Hedora both gains and loses color as it gets older. You know, I would buy a morphological change box set of Hedora. Why not? Bandai seems to love Hedora at this point, so I'm just going to expect it. But moving into the side of the figure, those drippy little tendrils will be kind of colliding and resting and all that other stuff. This Hedora is a little bit less drippy than the bipedal walking version. And I think it's rather cool how the tendrils kind of just follow the curvature of the body when they're not just hanging down. And I like that Hedora's toes are just kind of being dragged along for the ride over here. It's cool that Hedora has 3 extra toes on the back of its feet over here, whereas with the bipedal walking version, it just has 6. And yeah, that's basically it. Crawling Hedora, or BABEH Hedora, I think is definitely worthy of 2 solid stars, both in terms of paint and detail. And with how repaint happy Bandai seems to be with Hedora, I don't doubt a dirtied looking paint variant version of this thing coming out at some point. Articulation? Nothing crazy, but we will get swivels at the arms, all the way around. Nothing at the legs, obviously. Surprisingly enough, though, we will get articulation in the tail, and despite what you're seeing here, the tail can in fact go all the way around. Wouldn't recommend it, though. It's not exactly the most encouraging articulation out there. But just the fact that you actually, have the option to do so, it's nice. Who doesn't like options? I kinda never want to do that ever again. Solid star because I wasn't expecting the tail. We are so close to a full Hedora form collection from the Movie Monster series that I really hope Bandai doesn't stop after the flying version, because we do still need the aquatic version, which is different, yes. I mean, X Plus did something like this, SH Monster Arts did something like that, and yes, I still want Petri Dish Kun. Do it, Bandai, please. Just seeing the life cycle fully realize itself in vinyl format, again, like I said last time, it's something I really wasn't expecting to see, and I'm just very happy that it's a thing that's happening. Even if we end up not getting Petri Dish Kun and just maybe the aquatic version, I'd be okay with that. I'd be a little upset, alright? Public Apology Hedora, Minimates Hedora, Godzilla Collection Hedora, Movie Monster Series 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 Hedora, Movie Monster Hedora, Landing Period Bipedal Walking Version Hedora, Movie Monster Series Final Wars Hedora, Bandai Ultimate Monster Series Final Wars Hedora, Hedora Finger Puppets. And here's a couple more comparisons, and I'm gonna be real, I think this works very well. I mean, maybe Baby Hedora was a bit bigger, but in comparison here, this feels just about right. And here's Baby Hedora with the SH Monster Arts Godzilla 2014 original release. He do be looking rather perplexed. I mean, I would be too. It's a crawling baby skid mark thing. And just because I really couldn't resist doing another one of these again, here we have Final Form Hedora, Bipedal Walking Form Hedora, 2 of the Hedora Finger Puppets, and Baby Hedora. This is the most screwed up looking family photo I've ever seen in my entire life. And I'm not going to turn this into a full-blown comparison between the two because I think it's pretty obvious. They are both different and the same in a few different ways, but it's really not by much, so I wouldn't blame people for skipping out on Crawling Hedora. But how could you ever skimp out on BABEH? Good amount of detail, good amount of paint, exactly what I was expecting, save for the tail articulation. I'm not mad, and just bring on Flying Form Hedora. I wonder if that's going to be the next one to get all the crazed repaints, because it seems like Final Form Hedora and Flying Hedora seem just to get everything. I'm not upset about that at all. In fact, I'm fully expecting Bandai to re-release all of these at some point with the same colors that the animated version of Hedora had in the movie. Or they'll just release figures of that for the Chibi Movie Monster series line, and yeah, I'd probably buy that. Who am I kidding? Before I give Bandai any more ideas, I've been ShinRobjira. I do so hope you enjoyed this review. I will see you all next week with a review of Metallic -1 Goji and Monster King series version Goji. It'll be another week of new releases, so I hope you're all ready for that, and maybe eventually we can get back on schedule. Social media, final rating, the whole 9 yards. See you all next time. Have yourself a lovely Sunday night, afternoon or morning, of any day of the week. Bye. What the fuck was that?